Ahoy, crypto pirates. How's everybody doing? Captain RG3 with another night with chatting with the captain. Been streaming a lot. Why? Why have I been streaming a lot? Well, I haven't stopped streaming because I'm one of the only people that didn't stop streaming during the bear market when everybody else did. But we're streaming more now because things are pamping, baby. Pamping. Oh, my alerts are just firing off like crazy because everything in the whole crypto space is going wild. Bitcoin's going wild. Ethereum's going wild. The altcoin arena is going wild. And the Hex Pulse RH ecosystem coins are going absolutely wild too. So it is great day in crypto. I think that the bull market has begun and we are starting to see the first throes of it. Guys, if this is just the first throes, imagine what's about to happen. So we're going to get to talk to our lovely guest about some of this stuff and her thoughts on it. I'm so excited to have her on because it's like a completely different, like generation gap / well, she's brilliant, first of all. And she's got a whole different take on this from my perspective. So we're going to get into that. That's going to be cool. Can't wait to hear what she has to say about what's going on. But what I'm seeing is something that I've been watching very closely for the last few weeks is the, I can't call it OTC trades, but it's the behind the scenes Bitcoin movement that is getting me really excited. If you are out there and you guys are watching the movements, there has been over the last couple of weeks some very big wallet moves. Just the day before yesterday, a couple of days ago, there was literally a $1.2 billion wallet transfer from a wallet into the exchange. So now that's a few different things that this could be. That could be an exchange moving money into the coffers of from a wallet to the exchange. Probably not. It could be an OTC trade where the exchange itself is brokering the deal. So a big wallet, a big old Bitcoin wallet is moving Bitcoin. It could be, miners moving money into the exchange for whatever reason. We don't see those types of moves though on the regular. This has just been happening as this bull market has started to emerge over the last few weeks. So after these movements started, then all of a sudden crypto started pumping. So there's something going on behind the scenes. There are some big OTC moves going on, in my opinion. I think that these are OTC moves. I think that the exchanges are probably brokering the deals. You don't just move $1.2 billion worth of Bitcoin. That's like a scary thing. Like there's lawyers and people sitting in a room with security and 2 computers and Ethernet connections, and everybody's, there's a node that they're using, and it's, you know what I mean? It's very secure to do something like that. But to see it move, to see that it's being tracked, tells me that there's something going on here. And I got to say, it's looking like the bull market is firing off. So without any further ado, I am going to bring up a gal who's got Instagrams, TikToks, websites, merch. She's got the whole thing. I met her in Vegas and her lovely family, and I can't wait to talk to her here on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Fashion Coder. What's happening?
Hello. How's it going?
It's really good. Going really good. How's it going with you?
Oh, so well. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I want to show you something real quick. Hold on one second.
No way. I think I know what you're grabbing.
You can't see it on stream, but I got this from you in Vegas, and it's been sitting up on my shelf ever since, but you can't really see it. Maybe I should find a place to stick it so that you can see it.
I love it.
But I've always had it sitting up there. I've been streaming with it ever since you gave it to me.
You're so sweet. It was so nice.
I'm a fan.
In Vegas, my dad was like, "That's RG3," and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I was like starstruck.
I was like, "That's Fashion Coder. That's Fashion Coder." It's funny how we all do that, right? Like I'm like, Oh, it's David Stiller. Oh my gosh, it's Freddie Quotes. It was like, you meet all these people and you're fans of them because you watch them on YouTube like TV, and
Yeah.
they say the same thing about you. So, I mean, we're all kind of really just crypto folks in this little tiny ecosystem, but we're important to each other, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And it's perfect. And it's so great because everyone's just a person. And actually meeting people in person, it was such a blessing, but it was also really cool to make those connections.
Yeah, and you tell me what you think about it, because I had been to crypto events like little meetups, where people sat down and they talked about crypto, but it's very awkward, very very awkward. And then I went to a couple conventions, and those conventions were, you know, like your typical convention. There wasn't you went to booths and you sat and listened to TED talks and that kind of thing. But a Hexican meetup and party is like nothing else I've ever experienced, because real relationships were built and fostered and developed. I mean, I have some of the best friends that I've ever had that are in this space, and even meeting you, like we really didn't spend a lot of time together, but it's like I met Fax Coder. I know who she is. I know the type of person she is. I know her family now, and it's like there's a bond that is unchangeable. Like we're Hexicans, and now we've met, and now we've shook hands, high fived, and hugs. That's what I call it: high fives, hugs, and handshakes. And it's just it changes the whole dynamic, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been to so many conferences and conventions and all the things, right? And like I personally am actually super shy. And so like in in situations like that, like maybe I won't be the most outgoing person, but at Hex meetups, it's like you're meeting family for the first time and it's like we have this connection and we have this like common interest and it's so wonderful and it's so different. And so if you're here watching and you haven't been to a Hex meetup, you have to go to one. It's so different than anything I've ever experienced.
Yep, and we're having one in Austin for anybody who's in Austin. We're doing the Pulse Chain Tour event in Austin. Go to pulsechaintour.com and you can come hook up with us. It's not a meetup, but we have meetups, and then we have seminars, and then we have our masterclass. But this one is actually going to be a seminar. So, but we still have the VIP event where everybody afterwards goes and we have dinner together. And so that's where you get to build those relationships and whatnot. So yes, come see us in Austin if you're in that area, or even if you're not, just get on it's SJ is putting a message in saying it is on the 4th of November on Saturday. So anybody can get to Austin, come on out there. Are you anywhere close to that area or no?
No, I'm not. I was in Austin for the Pulse Chain conference. So I got to be with everyone for that. But I'm actually in Utah. So I am far away from Texas.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why you got to Vegas so easily.
Oh yeah. It was just a little skip.
Somebody was asking about the Cali. The Cali event, I don't think it's going to be a Cali event. I think that's going to be getting on the ship to go to our cruise. We're going on a cruise in December for the Hex birthday. So that's where the tour ends, and we'll be heading out of the port of Los Angeles on a cruise ship going down to Cabo for a couple of days. That's going to be fun. Yeah, the cruises are the best. The cruises are absolutely the best. You got to get on one of the cruises. We have some next year coming up. You have to get on one of the cruises.
Okay, I will. That's a goal.
So let's get into you and dig in and find out. The typical question we always ask, but I want to know. First of all, let's go back to crypto. How does a young lady like yourself get herself mixed up in crypto?
It's a good question.
Because this is full of a bunch of degen guys, right? I mean, it's like you're not a dude sitting in his mom's basement sucking down Hot Pockets, video gaming and trading crypto. That's not who you are.
Yeah.
You're not. So how does somebody like you even get interested in it?
Yeah.
What happened?
So it all actually started with my dad. So my parents actually have always been super open when it comes to finances my whole entire life. And so talking about money was like nothing that was out of the ordinary, which was awesome. So that like set up a really good path for when my dad got into crypto. He was like, hey, you should get into crypto too. And the year that I got into crypto, I was a sophomore in college. And so I was like, oh, sure. Like You know, I was working a really good retail job. I was making commission. I was their top seller. So, you know, like it kind of just like all added up. I was like, okay, sweet. Like I can get into this. So I get into crypto. I literally bought the bottom of the last bear market for Ethereum. And within a week, it completely doubled. And I was like, oh, okay. So I had a
I
really
like this.
I know. I was like, this is such an easy transition for me. I was like, okay, like I totally believe in crypto. And I think that's just like what I needed. And so for a while, my dad would, you know, watch his YouTubers and stuff. And I just blindly followed everything he told me to invest into. And I was not led astray. So that's how I got into crypto. And I really truly think I would have gotten into crypto at some point on my own because my bachelor's degree is in computer science. And so I'm around the type of people that are in crypto when, you know, like in the video
It was
game.
almost inevitable then, right?
Yeah, I was like, I probably would have eventually gotten into it. I definitely would not have bought when I did. But I think I would have eventually gotten into it. And then eventually at some point, my dad was like, there are like no girls in space. Like you should create a channel. I was like, I don't know. And so I toyed with that for a couple of years. And then I finally moved out of my parents' house and I was like, oh, actually, maybe I will. And here we are.
So I'm gonna go back a little bit. I want to question you about something.
Dude.
You said that your dad talked to you about finance, and you know I don't think that school or society gives enough financial education to the kids, and especially families. Like, you know, I've always taught my kids about, you know, being entrepreneurs and, you know, hey, yeah, go get a job if you must, do the things that you need to do, get your hands dirty, you know, get in an office and do what you got to do to make some money. But don't ever forget the freedom you have here in this country to go ahead and express your entrepreneurial expressions and endeavors and whatever, you know. And is that the kind of dad you had? Was your dad always encouraging you to, hey, forget the school is for something, the job is for something, but go out and make it your own way in finances? Is that kind of how the conversations went, or?
Kind of. So my dad, he taught Dave Ramsey for years, if you know what that is.
Uh-huh.
And so he was very into that. But then also he was doing day trading on futures. And so he kind of like had that side business. You know, he was also.
So your dad was a degen.
No, yeah.
And I've met him. He's not.
That kind of vibe with that, right? And so my parents were actually super big. So I have all sisters. And they were super big into all of us getting a marketable skill that, say, you know, one day we're married and had kids or something, and the person we're married to died. Like, could we support ourselves? Could we support ourselves throughout our entire lives? And so that was a big thing for them, is how can you support yourself? How can you have a marketable skill to go out and do that?
And you chose sales.
Well, first off, but you know, it was just my side job. That was just what was getting me through. That paid for all my traveling. And because I had a full ride scholarship. Okay. So I was in school to do school. But then, you know, I needed extra money to buy my clothes. You know, I'm fashion coder. So I needed money for my clothes and my travels.
But, you know, that is the highest paid skill on the planet, is sales.
Yeah.
And so you picked the right job to go to. In my opinion, I always tell my kids that, you know, sales is where it's at, you know, getting into sales and understanding entrepreneurialism. And if you can get that sales skill down, if you've, you know, knocked doors until your fingers hurt, and if you've made phone calls until you've just gotten sick to your stomach, you know, I mean, that is a skill that will go with you forever and, you know, always make you money. You know, there are certain jobs out there that will always make you money, and having the ability to get to talk to people and sell them something is I think the number one skill that you can acquire as a young person. If you're out there, sales is where it's at, and Fashion Coder is proof of it.
Yeah, it helped me so much. It really did. And even just like the social aspect of it, of putting yourself out there and getting rejected. And going through that process, but then also just like the social norms of all of it. And it was really good because, like I said earlier, like I was super shy. I still am kind of shy, but I was extremely shy then. And it was something that really helped me get out of my like bubble.
Yeah. Well, good, good. So you went through school. You're done with school. Or are you still in school, master degree, stuff like that, or what?
So I actually graduated with my master's degree 2 years ago. So
Oh,
yeah, so I'm done with that. I went back to school last year again, though, after my master's degree, and I got my Bible certificate, and now I work as a children's pastor, which is oh cool. And so I'm doing stuff within that. So I'm working my way to get credentialed. So I'm doing Bible school still.
wow. So are you? Is there a doctorate in that, or is this just kind of like a credential on top of your master's? Or
Yeah, so I'm trying to decide right now. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to get another bachelor's degree because, why not?
yeah, yeah.
Or if I should just get the credential on top of it. I eventually want to go and do an MDiv, so a master's in divinity, where I would do like the theological studies, but then I'd also learn Greek. So yeah,
Ooh,
I haven't. There's just so many options, which is nice to
yeah.
have options. But yeah, I haven't decided yet.
I, I want to speak to something real quick. First of all, congratulations, and I'm proud of you. A lot of people, especially in the space or in the entrepreneurial space, um, snuff their nose at college. I never went to college. What wasn't in the stars for me? It was like, hey, jail or Marine Corps, what you choose, buddy. And that was, that was my choices, just because that's, the environment I came from, where I grew up and whatnot. But in my opinion, all the people that I met after that experience, so I pulled myself out of the mess, and I started meeting human beings out in the real world after I got out of the Marine Corps. And I started running into these people who had been through college. And then I ran into people that I was in the neighborhood with, or just graduated high school, and we're like, hey man, I'll get you a job, you get some boots, and you come out here and we'll get greasy and you'll make some money, and that kind of thing. And there was a difference between the types of people. And it was social, it was intellectual, it was a different type of person and life path that people that came out of college were in. And I hear a lot of people not putting a lot of value in that, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of value in it. And I'm not putting down the working class person. That was me. I was a working class person. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there are so many more doors and opportunities that present themselves when you're in that community, when you've networked through college. Would you? I mean, I don't think that you've probably. I mean, you worked in retail, so you kind of know that world a little bit. But would you say that there was a different opportunities open to you because of your college experience, going all the way to getting a master's degree?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I did have an advantage though with being a woman in computer science because automatically I stood out, right? And so
Like in crypto.
yeah, no, I'm like nothing's changed in my life. I'm like this really isn't that different than what I was doing before. But yeah, and so I definitely think that because of that, even I just have so many connections. Like I have so many connections with people at like these huge companies that do amazing work within tech. And it's been really cool being in crypto and being able to be like, oh, well, like you can actually bring blockchain to this. Like even in the company that I work for right now, they're an amazing tech company. And it's like, okay, well, how can I use my knowledge from crypto and bring it within it? But yeah, the connections have been insane. And I mean, I've gone to 3 universities now, and I am about to either start a different university or at a different college. And I know that that's going to bring other opportunities too. And so I'm super into, the connection of like actually getting to meet people and getting to like build relationships with people, and that has been super fulfilling being at different, like being in my college experience, because it has opened up so many doors. But then also at the exact same time, I do want to like say the job that I got 2 years ago, the one that I'm still at right now, I applied for 187 jobs. Okay.
Whoa.
And I got 13 interviews. And mind you, like I had the most experience out of anyone I knew when I graduated from college, and I had a master's degree. Okay. I, yeah, okay.
And you got 13 interviews out of
Interviews.
187 with a master's degree?
Yes. Okay. 13 interviews. And then I interviewed seriously with 2 companies and only got 1 offer. And so I took the job. And it's been amazing. I love my job so much. But that's the thing too, is like it's still hard. Like you could be a really,
Wow.
really good candidate with the most impressive resume, and you're still going to have to work for it.
Wow. 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 That
Yeah.
is, and I think that's why so many people are discouraged about the college experience, because I know, I mean, I've got 30 years of experience in my field. I know that I can go out tomorrow and I've got 10 companies that want me to work for them, like right now,
Mhm.
because the the blue collar worker or the skilled or semi-skilled labor force is just dwindling. Like it's disappearing. Like the guys that did my job, guys like me, they just don't make them anymore. People don't want to do the job I did, the greasy, hardworking,
Yeah.
14 hours sweating your butt off all day and
Yes.
night. Nobody wants to do that stuff anymore.
Mhm.
And so it's easier for people to get, maybe that's what Americans have to do is just bite the bullet and go take these jobs, and they're paying crazy money for it. Like
Yeah.
I'm looking at it going, oh my gosh, I can go back and get my old job back and make twice as much as I was making before I retired. I
Maybe I
mean, what
would.
in the heck is that all about? And that's just happened over the last, couple years since I've been out of the workforce. But
Mhm.
well, good for you, and congratulations on getting the job you got. Now you got this desire now to like bring your business or your work to the blockchain. Are you technical? Are you semi dev, or are you just kind of like a visionary and an evangelist? What are you when it
So I
comes to?
am now. I am the visionary now. I coded for 10 years though. And
Oh,
yes. So I
in C++?
So I started, so when I was 13, I started and I just loved it. Like I was a web developer then and I developed websites and everything. And then I ended up finding an absolute love for C sharp. And I saw someone said, I bet Fashion Coder uses Atlassian products. I totally did when I was a dev. So, so I was a dev for a long time. Now I realized I didn't like it as much in the real world. And it's, I think because of that like entrepreneurial spirit, I wasn't able to see the product start to finish or even just start. I was jumping into products that had been worked on for years and years and years. And then I had to go in and like fix things or add things to it. And I did not like that. And so now I'm the visionary where I get to see something from start, typically to finish. And that has been amazing. So yeah, I did do dev work. Have you done anything like that before?
No, I'm definitely not a dev.
That's okay.
I do have a lot of projects that we've put a lot of people to work in that arena. We've worked on a couple projects that haven't come to fruition because of the blockchain issues, and you've probably run into those too, with the issues with Ethereum and Polygon and all these other. Now that we have Pulse Chain, a lot of these things that we've been working on seem to be able to now come to fruition. Web3 projects, all those kinds of things. So we're all excited about it on our end. My developers are excited about it. Is that what you're seeing now? Is that Pulse Chain is kind of changing the whole kind of arena for you?
Yeah, so it's very interesting. So, at least the company that I work at right now, they do their whole own thing. And they actually have a blockchain where you don't have to pay for fees. And so that has worked out really well for what they're doing. But I've seen in different companies that PulseChain actually adds great value because of the price of transaction fees, because if you're going to be doing hundreds of thousands of transactions through your product on the blockchain, obviously you need a solution that is going to support what you need.
Scale. Yeah.
And that's the cool thing about Pulse Chain is you get the Ethereum side of it, right? You get the maturity of Ethereum, but you get the price of Pulse Chain. And so it just seriously, it's a good thing.
Yeah, I think, Pulse Chain is going to be the GOAT L1. It's already, I think, number 3 right now when it comes down to technically it is number 3. And it's just going to shine because it, like you said, it's got the maturity of Ethereum, with the prices of the ghost chains, and it's battle hardened. It's been going for 5 months, no shutdowns, no issues, no foundations to have to tap into to get your project going.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if you've seen, but like I've been talking a lot to these Tangang guys and watching what they're doing, and and they've got their own thing going on and whatnot. But what I really like about what they're doing is that they're grassroots, marketers. Like they're out there spreading the word and telling people in like the NFT space how they can host their own products and bring them over to Pulse Chain, and it's not costing anybody anything. It's like take control of your own content and your own products and bring them over here and let us show you. So they're like open arms, bringing people in, and it's like that is organic grassroots community development at its finest, and it's Hexicans that are doing it. Like you said, that meeting that we first did, and all of us kind of coming together. It's that spirit of Richard Hart and everything, just kind of like real true DeFi community coming together and building things and bringing the community and marketing to the rest of the world for free, not trying to bilk anybody. I just love what's going on over here.
Yeah. And we all believe in the product. And so it's really easy to sell it. Oh, none of us are selling it because none of us are getting paid for it. But it's like, it's really
Yes.
easy to be like, I believe in this. And so like, here it is. And if you're not going to believe in it, like that's your own problem. But like,
Yep. Did you hear that, SEC? Nobody's getting paid. Not Fashion Coder, not me. None of us are getting paid by Pulse Chain Foundation anywhere for anything. So
nothing.
Take that. Not even a thank you. Richard, how about a thank you every once in a while, huh?
Yeah, not even a thank you.
Not even a thank you. And I love it. And I love it. It's so do you have a project or something that you're working on bringing to the blockchain? Is there something you got, a pet project or something?
It's a good question. I actually don't right now. I decided to do more of like the crypto education at the moment. I just don't really feel like I have something on my mind that I think would do amazing, and that's okay. I'm very open to maybe doing one in the future, and maybe even I would code it. That sounds so weird. I haven't coded in so long. But yeah, I'm like, okay, maybe I would, but yeah, at the moment, no. I'm just trying to build, my Fashion Coder crypto bestie brand. And it's been really fun doing that I've enjoyed it enough that I think I'm tapped out right now. I have basically 3 to 4 full-time jobs that I'm working. And so it's like,
oh, girl, I know. Trust me, I know. I retired and I'm working more now than I ever have.
I love it. Hey, that's great. So do you have liberty to say what you're working on?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've finished projects already. So we finished the Hex Investment Trust, which is basically grayscale for Hex.
Yes.
It's paper Hex, and one day as the bull comes back and Hex starts getting exposed to the world, it'll be there for traders on the the mercantile exchanges to pick it up and run with it that way if they don't want to get into the crypto space completely. And then we built MCA, Mountain Crypto Advisors, which helps people tax mitigate and protect their assets outside of the crypto space and within the crypto space. We don't custody anybody's coins or anything. We build trust products through the legal, channels and build those for people so that they can mitigate their own taxes and protect their own assets and their legacy. So that's the other company that we built, myself and Kinetics and my partner. And then we also have the movie production company that produced The Highest of Stakes, and maybe some more film in the crypto space eventually here soon. So we're doing that, and then of course this Pulse Chain Tour and the marketing arm, which is the channel, which has always just been here, serving the community and helping bring light to streamers like yourself who we brought this channel up saying we wanted to expose better streamers. We wanted to expose the best of the Hex community. And that was people like yourself. That's what we wanted to do. And we knew that they would come. We knew that, and I mean, they're getting better and better and better. And I think that the Hex community has the best streamers, the smartest people, and the most devoted and to the RH ecosystem, and that's what we're here to expose. So that's what we've done, and then we've just been watching and supporting people like you.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, wow, that's amazing. You've added so much value to the community and just to crypto in general, not even just to our community, but people in anything can use that, which is awesome. So that's super cool. How did you end up getting into crypto? I don't even know if I know that origin.
So is this turned? She just turned it around into
Yes,
she's going to
please.
interview the old captain.
So curious because I don't know.
How did an old guy like you get into crypto? You're not supposed
No.
to be here. You're supposed to be yelling at the kids on your lawn outside, right?
No, not at all.
So, and here's what I've always understood is that the youth are going to reel in the 21st century. They are going to change the world. They are going to take these things like AI and crypto and the internet and really do good in the world versus what my generation, mostly the generation before me, my generation is just like confused with everything that's gone on. Like boomers really screwed things up, and the Gen Xers, we were kind of stuck in the middle. We got raised by our World War II grandparents and Vietnam era, parents and the hippie generation. And they none of them gave a crap about anything. They were all just made a bunch of money and had pensions. And we were like the ones who got everything lost. Like we were that generation that didn't have cell phones or computers. And we were out there scraping our knees up and parents didn't know where the hell we were all the time. And, and all that it was like the last of the old innocence, I guess. I don't know. And so we sat there confused and we watched this new generation come out, these millennials and the Gen Zers and all you guys. Yeah. And you got handed all these cool tools that we saw and watched emerge. Like, I mean, when calculators came out, we weren't allowed to use them.
Oh, sad.
I mean, like, the calculator came out. It's like, oh, this thing is cool, but we couldn't take it. They were like illegal to take to school. Like, you cheating little bastards, get those things out of here, Okay. And then the world kind of realized, like, no, they can do better math if they have the damn things in their hands, and the same now with computers and AI. Like, everybody's afraid of AI. It's like, oh no, you can't have AI to write better, papers and stuff. No, give it to them. Let them write better papers with AI. Let them learn how to use this technology to their advantage, and I think that's what we have to adjust. And our old generation didn't understand that, and so now you guys have all these bitchin' cool tools, and I'm like all for you guys advancing and following you guys. So that's what I did. So the reason I got into crypto was because, I was a blue collar worker. I worked, 14-hour days, 6-7 days a week to make ends meet so that I can keep my wife at home raising kids. Yeah. And that's how we wanted it. We wanted her to be able to stay home, and I went out and made the money. Now I live in Southern California, so it ain't easy. So you always had to have a side hustle, right?
Yes.
And I had to do it on the honest. I couldn't do the old way of making side money. So I had to be an honest guy and do the right thing. So I was getting into everything that I could. And eventually I ended up in a position where I was video gaming and ended up in these video game clans and this game Counter-Strike. And we ended up building a social media platform and gaming platform for people to compete in that game. Uh-huh. And in doing so, I ended up in the IIRC chat rooms. And, we didn't have cool chat rooms back then. We had these old, weird DOS prompt kind of, you had to go into the chat rooms and everybody sends you the link to the new server where we're going to go play and stuff. And it wasn't all this communication with video and all that stuff. And so in those IRC chat rooms, there was the Bitcoin forum guys were in there doing a lot of chatting. So they were always trying to sell us in-game cryptos and all that kind of stuff. And that's where kind of Brock Pierce was around doing that thing. And so that's where I finally got kind of exposed to it. Okay. And it wasn't until about 2014 when somebody asked me for some Bitcoin, and I, sent them some Bitcoin, and then about a bunch of months later, somebody asked for some more, and I went in the wallet, and the little bit of change I had in there had turned into a lot of change. And I was like, what in the heck is this? Uh-huh. And that sent me on about a 72-hour Satoshi white paper, Bitcoin, crypto, changed the world, cypherpunks. I was ready to get my machine gun, run out the front door and go, let's go take our money back. That's where where I was after like 72 hours of reading this. And I was like, man, these kids got it now. These guys understand it. They're going to go change the world with this. And I just wanted to be their champion and help, get out in front of it and hold the guide on and say, let's go, let's charge. And when I got there, when I was ready to go charge the hill, it was a freaking mess. It was degen trading. It was pump and dump rooms. It was shit coins. It was just a mess. And I was so discouraged for the few years that I was in, all the way to the 17 run up. I didn't want to be in it anymore. I was like, you guys screwed up this really awesome tool that I think that this generation could have brought to the world and changed the world, because look, our finances need it bad.
Yeah.
And so I was ready to walk away until Richard Hart came around, and there was something about that guy that I said, and this guy's the real deal, man. I think this guy's going to do something. I know he's kind of kooky and weird and whatnot, but man, he's got a big heart, and I think he's saying the right things, and he's got his finger on the pulse of this stuff. No pun intended, but he just seemed like he was the right dude to do the right thing. And so, saying, okay, I'll take one more chance on this crypto thing. And that's kind of how it all went down, and as soon as the Hex community started developing, I was like, I was made for this. I was built to be a Hexican and lead the charge and get out in front of it. I didn't have to know the tech. All I had to do was have Hex behind me and get a bunch of people in front of it and say, let's go, let's charge the hill. We can do it now, because Hex isn't going to fail us. See, I know that community, like what we were talking about earlier, is the most important thing when it comes to promoting and marketing a crypto product. The community does it. It doesn't work on billboards. It doesn't work in ads and all this other stuff. It doesn't work. YouTube, bans it and all that other crap. So I knew that if a crypto was going to support its community and not go down and not scam out and not, break down, then the community can just grow, develop, and it will end up showing up for the crypto, because all the other communities were the cryptos failed them. They were promises or whatever. The cryptos failed them, and Hex has never failed us. We've failed Hex. Us Hexicans have failed Hex, but Hex has never failed any of us.
Yeah.
So that's the story, and that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm trying to encourage people like you. We need different faces. We need different generations of folks. We need people that look like you and not like me, to get out there in front of it, because you're going to have a different following than I'm going to have.
Yeah. Everyone does.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's what we need. People like you.
Oh, well, thank you. We need people like you. After watching the documentary, I was like, I wonder what RG3's real origin story. So thank you for saying that, because I've been curious since August of okay, I wonder how you truly got into all of it. But that's so cool.
That's how it happened, and it was just by chance catching Richard and then seeing that there was a little something there, and then getting involved. And once I all into my crypto into Hex and said, okay, I'm trusting this guy and I believe in him and what he's doing, that's history right there. Anybody who got in and, month 1, 2, 3, like that is, our lives have been changed for generations, So, and I know you've been around for a while, and your dad's been around for a while. So you're OGs. Your dad's an OG for sure.
Yeah, he is for sure. I don't know if I can be considered that, but I'm like, I make content for this, so I'm something. I can be something part of it.
So your channel, are you focusing on putting some more content out? How's it going? Are you doing it every week? What's your schedule looking like now?
Yeah, so right now, it has changed so much, over the last year. But right now, what I'm doing is I'm posting an actual YouTube video Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then I post shorts type videos every single weekday. So I typically will do get ready with me videos. I don't know if you've ever seen those, but I do
I
my
have seen them.
okay, yes. So I do my makeup and I talk about crypto. So typically those ones I just talk about crypto in general because those ones actually the target audience is women and a lot of women aren't in crypto. And so the basics of crypto are decent or I go through that in those. And then my actual YouTube videos that I post typically are more in depth. Someone that already knows what's going on can jump in and see those.
Nice. So let me ask you about your brand. It's a crypto bestie brand behind you there.
Huh?
How did that come about? What's going on with that?
Yeah. So Crypto Bestie, actually don't even know what ended up happening. I think someone just called me that one time and I was like, okay, everyone in my personal life calls me Crypto Queen, which is really funny. They're like, oh, the Crypto Queen's here when I like go see my high school friends or whatever it is. I'm like, that's a little cringe, but that's okay. We'll go with it. But yeah, someone was just like, oh, you're the Crypto Bestie. Like you're here to give like best friend advice. And I was like, actually, that's so true. Like, that's how I want to brand myself. And so I started calling myself Crypto Bestie last December when I started my Get Ready With Me videos because I was like, okay, if I'm going to change my target audience to actually the people that I want to target, which is women, then I want that bestie feel. I want them to feel safe that like I am a source of knowledge for crypto. But then also it can be towards people that are just getting into crypto. So just like the bestie chill vibe with that.
Nice. And the products themselves?
Yeah. So the products that I offer, I'm about to release a course, which I'm really excited about. I already have a course out that's a 30-day challenge to get into crypto and start learning about crypto and building that habit of researching and learning about crypto every single day. And then I also have a crypto getting started guide. So that's seriously like ground zero, like the first day you get into crypto. That goes over everything. And I go step by step and I give every single tip and trick that I know in that guide of from when I got into crypto. And then I've onboarded so many people into crypto over the last 5 years that I've learned things like, oh, people don't actually typically know that. And I mean, there's a lot I don't know either, but as I've like gone through it, I'm realizing, oh wait, actually I kind of do know more than I thought.
Right on. Well, congratulations, and I'm rooting for you. I hope that your brand does well and you bring more females into the space like you're planning on, because we definitely need it over here. I mean, I think the Hex community is actually, as far as women go, pretty loaded. I think we've got a great group of women in this space, and we've got, I mean, SJ's helping us out with the channel and the tour, and I've got Black Hexicans. She's the whole tour manager. And I mean, and then we've got Sammy out there doing the Friday night hangouts with the ladies only. And it's just, and Hexalina on Twitter and just, it's just a ton of them out there just doing great work. And then yourself. So, yeah, but bring more. We need this space to feel safe, because for so long it's just been a bunch of degen guys, taking all the air out of the room and making it difficult for it. I mean, were you intimidated at all by any of that when you first came?
Slightly. I think one part is I, did my bachelor's degree in computer science, and I work with all men for the most part, and they're all like 25 years older than me. And so I am used to being in spaces like the spaces I'm in within crypto. So I think that has really helped. But I did actually feel nervous of like, wait, I don't know that much about crypto. Like, am I even someone that can like talk on this, And then I was like, wait, we need a voice. We need voices like the women in this community, because other women aren't going to feel comfortable getting into it because of that. And so, yeah, so I think I just naturally understand environments like the ones that we have, because that's just like what has happened for me the last several years. But definitely it was something where I was like, oh no, like really questioning like my knowledge, because you see these streams of all of these men saying these really big words and talking about these really like
I know. Trust me, I'm with you in that boat.
Yeah,
They
like
all using these big highfalutin words.
I'm like, well, I can tell you it in the simplest, stupidest way because I understand it that way. But yeah, so I think we have a great space though, and everyone's so open, and I have never had any problem with anyone. Like seriously, everyone's so nice and so open, and I really do think we just have a really supportive community, which is great.
I think so too, and I'm glad you're with me because I too speak to the generation that's kind of missing the whole boat and the big words when it comes to crypto. So I like being able to speak to them, and I'm glad you're speaking to people that you think need to hear it. And yeah, we've got a great space. We've got a good group of people. We've got all the people that can speak to the nerds. We got all the people that can speak to the traders. We've got all the people that can speak to the developers that are really in the know. I mean, I'm in a lot of different, projects and chat rooms and meetings where there are high level dev talks, going on and just being a fly on the wall and listening to these guys and what they're doing on Pulse Chain. I mean, it's amazing the work that all of these people are actually doing now because Pulse Chain exists. I went on a lot of Web3 meetings with people, and nobody had a blockchain that could support Web3. And now there's a blockchain to support Web3, and everybody's just really excited. So this bull run that's just now starting, I think is going to be very exciting for all of us. And I can't wait to see where we all end up here in the next year or two.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad that we have such a good foundation of a community.
Yes.
And we're going to probably see a whole new group of people that are going to start streaming for the community. And I'm so excited for that because I haven't seen that happen yet.
Yeah, well, and I've seen, because we were the first streamers, I've seen it. I've seen you guys come along, and I've seen, now the Somi generation and people like him are coming along, and they're getting better and better and better. And, the rest of the crypto space doesn't hold a candle. They've got popularity, they've got longevity, the Ivans and the BitBoys and all of these people that have been around for a while or whatever, the Cryptos R Us's and the Bucks Minings and all those guys, but they've been wrong for so long. And they've promoted and shielded things that have hurt people for so long. Mm-hmm. And you can't just brush that stuff under the rug anymore and call them good. I mean, they have to be called out for it. We're the ones that were right. We're the ones that haven't hurt anybody. And eventually that's going to have to be acknowledged. They're going to have to acknowledge that. You look at people that, and I think that the space is finally starting to show that. You look at the numbers that a guy like Coffee is doing right now. Crypto Coffee is just destroying the algorithms out there. He's killing all of the Bitcoin, streamers with his content because his content is concise, to the point. It's short, it's sweet, it's intelligent, and he presents well. And, so he has all of the things that all of those other influencers have, only he has good products behind him, and he's never hurt anybody with what he showed, So, I mean, it's things like that the space is showing with his numbers. I mean, he's beating the pants off of all of them right now with his numbers. So it's like the Hexicans are here. We've come to fruition. The best of us are making the numbers happen. And there's more of us than there are of them. That is for sure.
Yeah, easy.
and then we've got a diversity of everyone. We've got people like you out here. So I think it's just going to get better and better for us. And I can't wait to see how this bull run goes for all of us.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And we're just at the beginning.
And we're just getting started. Getting started. All right, Fashion Coder. Well, what we're going to do is, you want to say anything to anybody? Last words. Tell them where to go to catch your stuff, and then I'll have SJ put that in the description so we have all of your stuff there.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'm Fashion Coder on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram, and then my website is cryptocompetent.com. So thank you so much for having me, RG3. This has been so nice talking to you, and just so excited for the community and everything that's to come.
Well, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. And tell your dad I said hello, and good job on putting you into the game. Thanks, Coach, for putting her in. Appreciate you. You're making things better out here, and keep up the good work. Hold on a second. I see. Oh, okay. I got a little private message saying it was already in the description. So all of her information is down here in the description, guys. Follow her. And if if you've got some ladies that would like to enter crypto and not be intimidated or feel like they're getting icky with all of us guys stuff, then go see Crypto Bestie Fashion Coder over on her channels and get it the easier, the softer way. All right, guys. Thanks for coming. I'll see you guys all on what's today? Monday, Wednesday. I think we've got some oh gosh, who's it with? I know. Let me get a little thing. Yep, there it is. Watch this. Nope, that's not it. Anyway, see us Wednesday. I got more streamers coming on. All right, everybody, have a good one. Thanks for coming. We'll see ya.